Hey everybody, Dave Costello coming at you once again with another Rocky Mountain Rankings. And today we're going to be taking on the Big LZ, Led Zeppelin. Band that I got started on in the mid to early 80s. Thanks to a friend of mine that I worked with at a high school. He was big in LZ. I knew about him, but I wasn't really sure. He'd play the music all the time, so I eventually got hooked. So, and what can you say? What can you say? About Led Zeppelin hasn't all been said. They're fantastic band. Unfortunately, they weren't with us very long. I think 10, 11 years before John Bonham passed away. So they give us a good discography. It's too bad they couldn't give us more, but that's life. Uh, I'm going to be including uh, basically a compilation album of unreleased tracks, Coda. I'm going to be including that into the rankings here. I know some people say, well, that's really not an official album, but still, it gives me one more thing to talk about. So anyway, it's going to be included. So anyway, if you don't know how this works, if you're new here, I start with my least favorite and work up to my favorite. Just because my least favorite doesn't mean I don't like it. I like all these albums. It just means I don't reach for it as much. Or some of the songs don't, ring true. But that's the thing about music. What doesn't ring true now, later on, you can listen to it one day and say, hey, actually, this is pretty good, So that's a great thing about music. And at the same time, uh, what rings true for me may not ring true for you, vice versa. But a lot of times, we do agree on things. Our tastes can be the same or different, but that's what's great about music, and that's what's great about this country. We can have a disagreement, but a civil disagreement. Say, well, I don't like this. I know you do, but cool. What I don't like about in the music world is when you get these people who they just can't help themselves to put down people's tastes. When I was younger, I went through it constantly with people when I was going to school. When I was in high school or junior high and high school, you had two factions. You had the cowboys and you had the hippies. Of course, I was part of the hippies. I like Kiss. Cowboys would have great pleasure to say, "Hey, babies, Kiss sucks, man." I'm like, well, and I didn't like country. And I still don't like some country. There's a few songs that I'll get into, but going out of your way to tell somebody that their music tastes suck serves no purpose, and it just builds bad blood between you. Um, when I don't like something, I'm not going to go out and say, "Hey, man, I don't like that," and you like it, it sucks. That's just serves no purpose. So anyway, uh, if you're gonna, I'd love to see your comments, but don't bring your negative comments. I won't read them. I won't even give them a passing. I'll give them a passing glance. But if it's terrible, no. But anyway, I'd also like to see your ranking. That'd be great. See what your take is on all these albums. So before we get started, please subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell, and like I said, leave a comment down below or your own rankings. So let's get into it here. There's 9 albums. I'm going to start out with number 9. Now this album, reason why it's number 9 is just, like I said, I don't reach for it as much. There's a few songs, but the album on the whole, I just can't get into it very much. I have to be in a certain mood to listen to it. Anyway, released March 31st, 1976 on Swansong Records. Talking about Presents. Now, some people are saying, well, you know, was LZ trying to get into the space age here? Because of that little obelisk deal right there. Harks to 2001 Space Odyssey. So, of course, I can't remember if they commented on, let's see. Of course, it was created by Hypnosis. I can't say it. Hypnosis. I always have a hard time with that name. And of course, featuring the Black Obelisk Shake Project inside a Deep Sleeve, blah, blah, blah. Good old Storm Ferguson. Oh. Yeah, Storm wrote that the obelisk represents the power of Led Zeppelin, saying they were so powerful they didn't need to be there. Both Page and Platt have said that the presence of the object in the photographs made people stop and think about what is real, which reflected the music. Interesting. Very interesting. So, like I was saying, the songs, Achilles' Last Stand, good one. For Your Life, it's all right. Roy Orleans, okay. Nobody's Fault But Mine, Candy Store Rock, how's that for no? More like filler. You know, they were just putting them in there just to get the album out, especially Candy Store Rock. There was a time when I was younger, I really liked that song, but now it just, I don't know. T for One's good. They released a deluxe edition in 2015. Breaking title for Achilles' Last Stand, I guess. 2 1s for one. WON. For Your Life. This one really kills me. 10 Ribs and all/carrot pod. Reference mix. I guess that's, I don't know what song that was supposed to reference. Reference mix, Jones and Page. Roy Orleans, Hot's Out for Nowhere. Gotta go check that deluxe edition out to see what 10 Ribs and an all/carrot pod is. Quite interesting. But anyway, good album, but it's just not one of my top ones. Of course, like I said, who knows? Down the road, this could be ranked higher. But right now, it's number 9. So anyway, moving right along. This next album, a lot of people really don't consider it official Led Zeppelin album. It was released a couple years after John Bonham's death. They say it's a compilation out of unreleased songs, which it is, but they're still Led Zeppelin songs. They're still got good hooks and good, they're good songs. Excuse me. Had breakfast not too long ago, but I still like it. It's not up there in the high echelons of Led Zeppelin, but it's still LZ. Released November 19th, 1982. Of course, I'm talking about Coda. Not the best album cover. I think they could have done better, but it's, what can you say? A lot of great photographs of the band inside. There's the back cover. Starts out strong. With We're Gonna Groove, kind of reminds me of way Led Zeppelin 1 starts out with Good Times, Bad Times. Just get you going. Of course, I think, We're Gonna Groove is live mix, but with guitar overdubs and the live audience edited out. Why they did that, I have no idea. I guess they just wanted to sound more like an upbeat studio track. Whereas Poor Tom, meant for Led Zeppelin 3, Can't Quit You Baby, live rehearsal, edited version. Walder's Walk, meant for the House of the Holy. Possible later overdubs. Ozone Baby was meant for In for the Outdoor. Darlene, meant for Into the Outdoor. Bonzo's Montrex. It was just recorded in 1976. That might have been meant for Presents, who knows? Doesn't say. Wearing and Tearing, meant for Into the Outdoor. Bonus disc as Baby Come On Home, outtake, Traveling Riverside Blues, the live recording, White Summer / Black Mountain Side, and Hey Hey, What Can You Do? That was a B-side of Immigrant Song single. So, they got a deluxe edition bonus disc. Basically, just see. So We're Gonna Groove. If it keeps on raining. I guess that's a rough mix of When the Levee Breaks. Bonzo's Matrix, Construction in Progress. Baby Come On Home, Sugar Mama, Led Zeppelin outtake. Poor Tom, instrumental. Traveling Riverside Blues, Hey Hey, What Can You Do? Disc 3, Four Hands, I guess that's a working title for Four Sticks. Friends, St. Tristan's Sword, another Led Zeppelin outtake. I'll have to check this out. Desire, Wanton Song, Rough Mix. Bring It On Home, Rough Mix. Walder's Walk, Rough Mix. And everyone makes it through. I guess the working title for In the Light, Rough Mix. I'll have to check those out. But yeah, like I said, it's good Led Zeppelin, but it's just not in the higher echelons. So but it deserves to be mentioned here. I mean, we were definitely not going to get any new stuff from these guys because of John Bonham's death. So, but hey, take what you get and get. Okay, moving right. Okay, now I'll probably get some upset people on this one because this album, I know a lot of people hold in high regard because it's got some of their most highly played songs off the radio, which is one of the reasons why it's not as high in my vision of things. I don't hold it as high. But don't get me wrong, it's still a great album. Released November 8th, 1971 on Atlantic Records. Also produced by Jimmy Page. Talking about what's called the Untitled album, or unofficially, Led Zeppelin 4. Or you call it a man carrying sticks picture or whatever. I've heard people rip LZ for this cover, and saying it could have been a lot better. And what's strange, about Led Zeppelin is there's no markings whatsoever on the outside cover or inside cover. The way you're going to know who this, the only way you could know who this album was by is by the packaging, the cellophane wrap that it came in. Of course, it had Led Zeppelin 4, whatever, blah, 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 hits Rock and Roll and Stairway to Heaven. Let's see if I can show you the inside cover here and get it the right way. Like I said, a lot of iconic songs off this album. Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven, Going to California. All got played and still are being played on the radio. Black Dog I love. Rock and Roll used to be my high echelons of, but I've heard it so many dang times, kind of wore out its welcome. Battle of Evermore, good one, especially with the Sandy Denny singing on that one. If you don't know who Sandy Denny is, she was with Fairport Convention. She also did her own stuff, solo stuff. Fantastic singer. I mean, of course, she fell on tough times and got a little bit of mental issue later on, and which was too bad. She was a great singer, but such is life. Misty Mountain Hop, love it. Four Sticks, okay. When the Levee Breaks, keep wanting to say Levy. When the Levee Breaks, this one I don't reach for as much as I used to, but besides that, it's still a great album. Bonus tracks, Black Dog, basic track with guitar overdubs, rock and roll alternative mix, Battle of Evermore, mandolin guitar mix, Stairway to Heaven, Sunset sound mix. I can go check these out. see what the difference is. Misty Mountain Hop, alternate mix, Four Sticks, alternate, Going to California, mandolin guitar mix. When the Levee Breaks alternate UK mix. I guess if you remix something in a certain country, it gives it a certain sound. So if they remix it here in the States, it would give a U.S. mix. Just interesting alternate UK mix. So anyway, like I said, I'm not bashing the album. It's just one I don't reach for as much. So anyway, Led Zeppelin 4 at number 7. Okay. Come here at number 6. Another one I might get some flack for. Released January 12th, 1969 in the States, and which is odd, it was released first in the States and didn't get released until March 31st in the United Kingdom by Atlantic Records. And of course, I'm talking about Led Zeppelin number uno. Iconic album. Back cover, the guys on it. Now you'll note, if I can find it here, Robert Plant's name is, and what he does is white it out. That's because he was under contract with another record label, so he really couldn't officially be part of Led Zeppelin. None of the songs have his name on them because of that, even though I think, I know that he did write some of the songs. Yeah, okay, he wrote Good Times, Bad Times. Go for that. Maybe I'm going to Leave You. Your Time Is Going to Come. Communications Breakdown. And How Many More Times. Of course, back then, like I said, he couldn't be an official member until his contract ran out with, let's see, well, with whatever record label he was with. I'm not going to try to find it. So anyway, I can still remember the day I got this. I was so excited. Back then, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have Amazon. Yeah, I believe there was a time that there was no Amazon. I know a lot of people were going to say, hey, that'd be great. Actually, no, it was, well, I have mixed feelings on Amazon, but I'm not going to get into that. Back then, we had a thing called Columbia House, where you would order through the mail. It'd send you a card with selections, new selections, old, stuff that previously came out, You'd make your choice, send it off, send a check with it, and then they'd send you whatever you ordered. Remember the time I was with my mom, and we pulled up to the mailbox, and there was a big box, and this was in it. And I was like, wow, cool. I was so excited. We got in the house. I threw this on the turntable. Loved it. I still love it today. But I don't reach this for as much. Like I said, Good Times, Bad Times, fantastic, breaking song. Baby, I'm Gonna Leave You. It's a good song. It's just not one of my favorites. You Shook Me, same. Not one of my favorites. Dazed and Confused, love it. Your Time Is Gonna Come, great. Black Mountainside. Not a big fan, but still great Jimmy Page song, acoustic song. Communications Breakdown's good. I Can't Quit You, Baby. Willie Dixon song there. Because we got two Willie Dixon songs, You Shook Me and I Can't Quit You, Baby. And How Many More Times. Good, solid music, good, great breakout album for Led Zeppelin. definitely want to check it out if you don't have it. Of course, if you don't have it, you've been living under a rock. So, anyway, Led Zeppelin 1 at number 6. Okay. This next album is their first double album. And it's basically new songs and previously unreleased songs. So basically a mix, kind of in the Coda scenario. Of course, Coda didn't have any new releases on it. This one does. Released February 24th, 1975 on the group's own a new label, Swansong Records. So I'm talking about Physical Graffiti. Chock full of great songs. Of course, there's songs that I really don't care for. Here, it starts out with Custard Pie. It's okay. The Rover. Supposed to be a House of the Holy outtake. In My Time of Dying's, I guess, a new one, you know. House of the Holy, of course, can go without being said. House of the Holy outtake. Why they left that song off? Because I really like House of the Holy. I mean, I think they should have left that on there and did away with the crunge. The crunge I don't care for. I think it would have been a lot better with the title track, but it is what it is. So, Trampled Underfoot, I love that. Cashmere, who doesn't love Cashmere? I mean, it's fantastic. Side 3, In the Light, Bronwire, I guess that's how you say it. I can never pronounce Bronwire. Led Zeppelin 3 outtake. Down by the Seaside, Led Zeppelin 4 outtake. 10 Years Gone, new one. So, you know, as you can see, it's a mix of new songs and previous unreleased. Night Flight, Zeppelin 4 outtake. Wanton Song, new one. Boogie with Stew, 4 outtake. Black Country Woman, 4 outtake. And then ends with Sick Again. Of course, then they got the bonus disc, Brandy and Coke, Trample Underfoot, rough mix. Sick Again, early mix, early version. In My Time of Dying, House of the Holy, rough mixes. Everybody Makes It Through, In the Light, early version, in transit mix. Boogie with Stew, Sunset Sound mix, and Driving Through Kashmir, which is Kashmir, rough orchestra mix. So, my favorite tracks on here, House of the Holy, Trample Underfoot, Kashmir, Black Country Woman, Boogie with Stew. You know, fantastic songs. You know, Led Zeppelin at the height of their power. Of course, the album, I believe, had a slide where you could change the pictures or change the windows, get different pictures or something. Of course, you can't get that with the CD. But, you know, and I'm sure people say, well, see, that's the limitation of the CD. Well, yeah, and the sound is very limited on sound. It's not as high quality, though it's free of hisses and cracks, which I don't like. Hissing, crackling. Some people like that. I don't. And plus, it's easier to transfer to a computer. So anyway, number 5, Physical Graffiti. Okay, number 4, top 5 now. This one I believe I also got from Columbia House. I don't think it came with Zeppelin 1. I think I got it later on or before. No, I got this from before I got Zeppelin 1. Released October 22nd, 1969 in the United States, and October 31st, 69 in the United Kingdom. It's odd how they, usually it's the other way around. UK gets the release first, then the United States, and everybody else. This is the exact opposite. Yeah. Okay. Of course, I'm talking about Led Zeppelin 2, the iconic album cover. There's the inside. Nothing on the back, of course. Yeah, what can you say about this album? More great songs. Remember the first time I heard Whole Lot of Love? I was up at the park here in my hometown. A friend of mine said, "Hey, check this out." I'm like, wow. Especially the middle part where you have all this weird sounds and stuff. I'd never heard anything like it. I think I wouldn't hear anything like it until I heard Pink Floyd's Echoes, another haunting song. But fantastic. What is and what should never be, great. Lemon Psalm, not really a big fan of that. Thank You's okay. Heartbreaker, love it. I love the way it goes right into Living Loving Maid. A lot of people don't care for Living Loving Maid, but hey, I do. Ramble On, used to love that song. It's okay. I'm just not a big fan anymore. I've heard it too many times. Moby Dick, good. Live version, so much better, of course. And ends with Bring It On Home. Fantastic ender. Comes in strong, ends strong. So, interesting to see. Oh, the bonus disc here. Whole Lot of Love, Rough Mix, What Is What Should Never Be, Rough Mix with vocal. Thank You, backing track. Heartbreaker, Rough Mix, Living Loving Maid, Rough Mix, Ramble On, Moby Dick, and I guess it says La La. I guess that's a real rough backing track for Bring It On Home. I'll have to go check it out. Interesting note on the picture, on the cover, it's actually taking, let's see, World War I, the flying circus led by the Red Baron. Of course, they replaced 4 of the pilots' heads with band members and added facial hair and sunglasses to some of the flyers' faces. They replaced some with faces of other people. The blonde-haired woman is a French actress, Daphne Serig. Left Andy Warsteyer by, let me see, cover also pictures the outline of course, the Led Zeppelin. Of course, you don't see the Red Baron. He would have been right behind him. He'd have been up here. Let's see, right up in here. Of course, like it says, they added facial features and other people. So, always loved that cover. So, anyway, there you have it on that one. Led Zeppelin number 4, Led Zeppelin 2. This next one, I just absolutely love. This, in fact, this one almost was my number one, but the number one I decided on is, I think, just a little bit stronger, at least right now. Later on down the road, this could change. This could be number one, but right now it's number three. At least, August 15th, 1979 on Swansong. Last release before Bonham died. Of course, I'm talking about Into the Outdoor. Love that cover. And the back cover. Of course, in pure Zeppelin fashion. Nothing on the cover except on the spine. There's Led Zeppelin Into the Outdoor. I don't think. Oh yeah, there's the producer and all that on the inside cover along with the songs. Just, I'd sit there, listen to this album, and just look at every little detail on this cover. I mean, and from what I understand, there was like 4 different pictures, or 6 maybe, from different aspects. Like the front cover is from this guy's point of view, and then the back cover is from the lady over here, her point of view. And I think there's also another cover from this lady's point of view, and then one from the bartender. So there'd be, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pictures. I think there's another one from the piano player. You can see him right here. So, and it really, you really didn't know which one you were getting because it came in a brown plastic bag with the title on it. I still got that. I still put that in the album in that. So, very interesting on that prospect. The track selection, I mean, it's very strong. A lot of people don't care for some of these songs. I do. In the Evening, love the way that comes in. It's got that haunting sounds and I guess a mandolin or hurdy-gurdy or something playing in the background. Every time I hear it, I just picture being on a desert plain, and it's early in the morning or late, well, or in the evening. But regardless, the sun's coming out or going down. You get these pictures of these flashes of light going through the atmosphere, and just haunting, and then boom, dun 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 dun. When the day is in the evening, when the day is done, love it. Southbound Sarez, great. Full in the Rain, love it. Hot Dog, probably. I kind of like that song, but I think they could have done something different there. Carousel Umbra, love it. Just powerful Zeppelin, powerful Zeppelin song. All of my love, great, and it ends with the haunting. I'm gonna crawl. I just love that song. Robert Plant just pours his soul into that song. I mean, just gets right into it. I mean, And he said, I'm going to crawl. I'm going to get down on my knees. I'm going to crawl. It's awesome. Of course, then you got the bonus disc with the rough mixes. Really interesting song, working titles before they decided on the official title of the songs. Carousel Umbra, was the Epic, All of My Love, The Hook, and I'm Gonna Crawl was called Blot. Why the hell would you use that? Blot. Yeah, what should we call this song? Oh, let's just go with Blot right now. But awesome. Like I said, this was close to becoming my number one, but right now it's number 3. All Into the Outdoor. Moving right along. Okay. Now this album, of course, if you're a Led Zeppelin fan, you know what my number 1, number 2 is. You don't know which way they're, which one's going to be my, excuse me, my number 1 or number 2. But I think once I explain what number 2 is going to be, I think you'll pretty much figure it out. This album got a bunch of flack from the critics and some fans. How many fans? I have no idea. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, who knows. Of course, the critics say, Zeppelin's hopping on the acoustic bandwagon. Even though their previous albums had acoustic on them. Yeah, just not as much as on this one, but you have to try different. I mean, if you don't try something different, you're always going to ask yourself, God, what if we'd done this? Or what if we'd done that? And oddly enough, and other people like Pete Pardo and all them guys will agree with me. There are fans out there who just love nothing more than to have the same song, sounding songs come out album after album after album. I'm sorry, but bands don't work that way. You can't write that way. You can't play music that way. I mean, if it got redundant, you wouldn't survive. But there are fans out there that just don't like change. And I've been guilty of that myself, but eventually, sometimes when the band does something different, you say, well, this is terrible, I don't like this, but eventually later on, down the road, it starts ringing true. So, hey, actually, this makes sense. But the exact opposite can happen. We can come out and say, hey, this is great. Then a year or two down the road, it says, I really don't like that album anymore. But anyway, released October 5th, 1970. It was actually recorded in 3 locations. Of course, I'm talking about Led Zeppelin 3. We've got the turning disc inside here. The back, the band. Side. Of course, it's back before they decided to go with blank covers and insides. Of course, there'd be nothing on of course, Led Zeppelin 4, not even on the inside, not even on the spine. But I just love this album. This could have been easy my number 1. Strong album, or strong song. Of course, starts out with one of my all-time favorites, Immigrant Song. Love the studio version. I love the live version off of How the West Was Won. First time I heard that, just blew my mind. When it just punches you, right in the face practically. Friends is okay. Celebrations, great. Since I've Been Loving You, I'm not a big fan of that one. Probably one of the reasons why I didn't choose this as number 1. Out on the Tiles, love it. Gallows Pole, love that. Tangerine's great. That's the Way. Bronwire Stomp, love it. House Off the Roy Harper, good. It's a good, solid album with both acoustic and hard rockers, and hard rocking acoustic. Deluxe version, Immigrant Song, Friends, Celebration Day, let's see, Bathroom Sound, working title of Out on the Tiles, Jennings Farm Blues, Brown Wire Stomp, Rough Mechs, Keys of the Highway / Trouble in Mind. I guess that was the working title for House Off the Roy Harper. Maybe it's a different song, I don't know. But LZ3 is one of those albums, like I said, when I first heard it, I wasn't really sure if I liked it. Other than Immigrant Song, I was totally unsure. But over the years, it's grown on me, and I just love this album. I think it's a good mix of different sounds and textures and stuff. But definitely check this if you haven't heard this album, or if you heard it and it didn't strike you, good. Then give it another try, give it another sound or listen. It's definitely an awesome album. So anyway, number 2. Moving on to number 1, which I'm sure you. That Brilliance is 2. Number 1, released March 28th, 1973 on Atlantic Records. Of course, I'm talking about Houses of the Holy. Cover that's created a little controversy as of late, along with some others I won't mention. Open up. Inside cover, or of course another album that has nothing on it, not even on the spine, nowhere. I don't think does on the album got the lyrics. Yeah, on the few LZ albums with the lyrics. I think the only one that I own that has the lyrics. I have to go back and look. But awesome songs. I mean, there's only one song on this album that I don't like, and I think they should have done away with. Of course, that's the Crunge. They should have left the title track on here. But it is what it is. Song remains the same. Love it. The Rain Song, love it. Over the Hills Far Away. Of course, the Crunge. Dancing Days. Dire Maker. No Quarter. Haunting Song. Oh. The Ocean, love it. I mean, just Zeppelin at the height of their powers, as far as I'm concerned. Of course, you get the deluxe disc. Song remains the same. Guitar overdub, reference mix. The Rain Song, mix minus piano. Over the Hills and Far Away, guitar mix, backing track, Crunge, rough mix. Dancing Days, No Quarter, and The Ocean. We have Dire Maker. Strange. But, yeah. Head to toe, aside from the one song, solid album. Of course, like I said, down the road, this could become my number 2 or number 3 and one of the others, But that's what it is with the top, once you get in the top 5. Any of those albums could be number 1. I mean, they're just wonderful albums. Love them all. So anyway, there you have it, people. Led Zeppelin, from best to least liked. I don't like to say worst because in reality they're I may not like them as much, but they're not albums by any means. They're just, and it could change. So anyway, let me know what your listing is. I'd be interested to see that. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. What's next? I have no idea. Probably won't figure that out till midweek, what I'm going to do on the next Rocky Mountain rankings. Before I leave, I want to do a shout out. We lost Meatloaf this past week. Never was a huge fan of Meatloaf. I only own one physical copy of his discography, and that was Bad Out of Hell 2. A lot of people don't like that album. I love Bad Out of Hell 2. I think it's his best work ever. Him and John Steinem. But it's just a lot of people are passing away. I don't know what he passed away for. It doesn't matter what. I mean, he just lost a great guy. Another guy we lost, Louis Anderson. I made a mistake. I was going around work. Louis Armstrong passed away, and I was going like, who? Then later they're like, oh, it's Anderson, Louis Anderson. Like, great comedian, great guy. I mean, it's just both of them went too early. I mean, of course, people say, well, Meatloaf was 74 and Louis was like, all right. See, I almost said it again. Louis Anderson was 68. Yeah, well, he was only nine years older than me. So I'll be 60 this year. No, actually, officially, I'll be 30. You start counting backwards once you reach 50. So, of course, you probably say, well, that means you're 40. Okay, 40, whatever. So anyway, hope you love that. Again, shout out to Louis Anderson and Meatloaf. And hopefully we don't lose anybody else. But that's such is life, So anyway, have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next time.